At 9/11, I was working at the Postal Service headquarters in Washington, D.C., and my husband was in security for the State Department, also in a suburb of Washington, which was 4 miles from the Pentagon. When I got to work, there was they had CNN running on the TV, and they were showing the towers being hit. And immediately I saw that there was an emergency, and I knew that they'd locked down our building or they would evacuate. I didn't know which, but I prepared for leaving, and I got in my car, which was in this subterranean parking structure, and I drove over to Arlington, where my husband was. It was very hard to get through traffic. The car kept dying. It took me quite a while to get through traffic for just a few miles. When I got to where he was working at the State Department, I found that the guard told me that I couldn't go in. He was in a security briefing on one of the higher level floors, and so I parked, and I was afraid that I'd get a ticket, of all things. I was worried, so I put a quarter in the parking meter, and I waited for about an hour on him to get out of the meeting so he could, and I told the guard I was there, so he told him I was waiting. It was very stressful. It was close to the Pentagon. My husband was in a security briefing, and he could see the smoke from the Pentagon because he was looking down across the freeway at the Pentagon. Then he finally was able to leave, and we were able to drive home. We had an 84-mile drive home. We had a terrible commute in the D.C. area. So we drove home. It took us more than 3 hours just to get home. And then, we knew all the things that had happened. It was hard to watch the TV, but we wanted to see what was going on. We needed to know, and I just remember, even now, I can feel the stress, as if I were watching the TV. That stress comes back to you in a memory. But I don't feel safe now because I think this administration is not protecting us, and all the things that we need to do for defense. I'm very concerned, and I think we need to be a voice to try to be more concerned about the Constitution, more concerned about our lives, more concerned about our children, certainly what we're giving our children, and it was a point of I felt the country come together. I appreciated so much the way that the president at the time handled it, and also I could see how security worked in D.C. and that gave me encouragement. But right now, I don't see it. I don't see it with Homeland Security. I don't see it with our borders. I don't see the protection that we need, and I am concerned about that.